Hello, friends. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream. It is 7:57 p.m. here in Florida, and I'm going to be hanging out with you guys for about an hour. No topic of conversation tonight. Whatever's on your mind, Star Wars or not, you know how these things go. Yeah. I'm trying to be a little more active. My daughter's first day back to school was today from winter break, from Christmas break. So I took my wife's car to get fixed, came home, finally had some time to clean the goddamn house because it's impossible to clean the goddamn house with a kid running around. If you try to clean the house with a 5-year-old running around, you know, you'll pick up some toys, you'll put some stuff where they're supposed to be, and then you'll turn around and it'll all be back all over the ground. So, like, you know, you're fighting a losing battle. But today, I had a couple hours to organize, to clean, to vacuum. And, you know, I like doing that kind of stuff. I don't know about you. I enjoy it, you know, having a couple hours to yourself, turning on some music, getting your steps in around the house, you know, doing some chores. If you would have told me 20-something years ago that 37-year-old me would actually enjoy doing chores, I would tell you that you were crazy. You were crazy, but I enjoy it. I like, no matter what it is, I like moving, I like staying busy. I'm not one to sit around. But it's fun, man. I enjoy it. Anyway, welcome, guys. As I said, no topic of conversation tonight. Whatever the fuck is on your mind. I just saw William Shatner tweet out a cruise that him and Scott Kelly are going on. I guess you can join their Arctic cruise to Antarctica, actually. And you can join it, and I just looked at the pricing. And look, it's super exclusive. I get it. You know, there's only like 13 rooms for a veranda. For a suite, there's 22 rooms. But like the prices are $35,000, $42,000, $60,000, $71,000, $91,000. When I first saw him tweet this, I was like, oh man, I like going on cruises. You know, we're going on a cruise in March. Couple grand, you know, for 7 days. I wonder if it's going to be like that. Nope. $91,000. Hey man, if you can afford it, that would be a good trip. I love Shatner. I'm a big fan of the Kelly twins. Mark Kelly all the way. I hope he runs for president one day if the world's, or if the country starts to, I feel like he's kind of a throwback. And I appreciate him as a human being, as a man. And I feel like the country is a little too chaotic for him right now. But yeah, anyway, welcome guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for keeping me company for the next hour. Let's shoot the shit. What's on your mind? Let's see. Welcome, guys. Who's all here? Christian, 80s kid from the 90s. Arlen. Fetman Croc. Maya. Nightbot. Welcome, Nightbot. Radney. Sam. Alan. Iron. Simpletown. What's up, Eckert? It's good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope you and the family are doing well, buddy. It's good to see you, man. Dad life is a forever grind. It sure is. It sure is. You know, it might sound shitty to say. I work 24-hour schedule, so like I'm on for 24 at work, and then I'm off for 48. And sometimes, you know, and all firefighters will say this, sometimes that 24-hour break, if you have kids, is it almost feels like a break. You know, you're at work, you're busy, but like you're just, you know, it's harder. It is the hardest job in the world to me is being a parent. And that sounds super cliche and cheesy as hell, right? But it's the truth. Entertaining kids all day, feeding kids all day, playing all day, you know, dad. As fun as it is, at the end of the day, you're more exhausted. I'm more exhausted at the end of a day of like watching a kid for 12 hours before she goes to sleep than I am on a 24-hour shift at work. It's crazy. Not getting any sleep. But yeah, anyway, good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Ricky Dicky Doo to Grimes, good to see you. Thank you so much for the ridiculously generous super chat and channel support this evening. Let me take a quick sip of the final little bit of whiskey that my wife got me for Christmas.
Hope all is going well, man. Family is gonna be
there we go.
taking
The robot's
a
reading
vacation
it.
soon, and these are our options. Which would you choose? The UK, Australia, Greece, Rome, or
Ooh.
Germany?
Ricky, thank you so much for, once again, thank you for the extremely generous super chat and channel support. Ricky says, hope all is well, man. Family is going to be taking a vacation soon, and there are our options. Which would you choose? Oh, these are our options. Which would you choose? The UK, Australia, Greece, Rome, or Germany? The only place I've ever been on that side of the pond is London. So I can't give you any firsthand information or insight. But if I was to choose out of those, oh God, that's tough. Oh man. You know, for me, and maybe this is off the table for you guys, but I would almost not be stationary in one place. I would almost take a train trip around from location to location. Maybe start in England, take a ferry across the channel, and then hop on a train and maybe spend 2 nights here, 2 nights there, 2 nights there. You know what I mean? I'm a big World War II history buff, and it's always been a dream of mine to go take kind of a train trip and hit historic spots from, you know, that time period. Now, with the family, that's probably not something that would be very... I mean, it would be educational, it would be interesting, but I don't know if that's something that, you know, you would want to do with the family. I feel like that's me and my wife trip, you know what I mean? I don't know if I'd want to bring my 5-year-old on a trip like that. But for me, you know, if I was in your position, I don't know how many kids you have. I would, man, I'd probably go UK. And this is going to maybe sound a little ignorant and very American, but and my ignorance is probably going to come out. Do you have kids, Ricky? Or are you going with, like, parents? I'm just curious. I actually don't know if I know your age, man. I don't want to get too personal. If you don't want to divulge any information. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, you know, you go to London, you go to England, you go to a lot of places in the UK, and the language barrier is going to be a lot less. Granted, most of those places probably speak English, and again, this is coming from a place of ignorance and a big dumb American, right? But it would just be easier to navigate, to get around. If you did a trip like that with the family. Now, that being said, I've always enjoyed going on vacations where you feel like a fish out of water. I've always enjoyed, like, even on deployment, I was all in South America, Central America, Colombia, Panama, Guatemala, Costa Rica, Cuba. And it was always fun to kind of be that fish out of water. Me and a couple buddies would get off the ship and then go explore. And the language barrier is there. Luckily, I know a guy, one of my good buddies was from Puerto Rico. So he was able to speak the language in all these countries, and he was kind of my translator. But it's fun being a fish out of water and vacationing in places like that. So I don't really have any good insight for you, man. But for me, with family, the ease, I would probably go with the UK. If it was just me and my wife, or just me, I'd probably do a train trip, and probably be a lot more expensive. Maybe not. I would do a little train trip, you know, from spot to spot. But sisters and parents. In my 20s, no kids at the moment. There you go. All right, so your options are, my dad is a big history guy. He'd love to see that stuff. Yeah, I mean, you know, you could see a lot of the history, and you could also hit some touristy spots as well. A little more lighthearted, I suppose. Language barrier is a big deciding factor. Well, there you go. You know, see a part of the world and have a little bit of the ease with language barrier. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with letting that kind of, especially if this is kind of a, I don't know if this is true, but if this is like a first family trip outside of the country or whatnot, that would be a good starting point, you know, maybe to ease yourself into exploring more of the world and get a little foothold and feel a little more comfortable, you know, but oh man. Yeah, that's exciting, dude. I love traveling. Me and my wife, we've been married for almost 10 years. 10 years this year. April 12th. But we dated for a little over 7 years before we got married. So we dated for a little over 7 years. We lived together for like 7 years. I mean, we moved in together really quick. But for the 7 years before we got married, we traveled a lot. We had our daughter in 2018. So before we even had a kid, we were together for 11 years before we had a kid. And we traveled, we went to London. We did some RV trips to national parks. We love going to the mountains, you know, upstate New York, Adirondacks, Canada. So, not to get too personal, but did you guys know each other before you were deployed? Me and my wife? Or me and my buddies? Me and my wife we started dating in 2008. We knew each other for a few years before that. Started dating in 2008. I went on a deployment in 2010. Yeah, my wife. Okay. So yeah, we knew each other for a few years before we started dating. Started dating in 2008. I enlisted in 2007. So I went to boot camp in 2007. Got out of boot camp. Started talking to her again. Started dating in 2008. And then the rest is history. And then I went on final deployment was 2010 to 2011. I was gone for 7 months. Yeah. So we knew each other before then. And then we got married in 2014. So this year will be a 10-year anniversary. 4 years from now will be the 20-year dating anniversary. That's wild. And things are still great. We're still each other's best buds. We still, you know, you make, we're going to Savannah in a month. And, you know, we still try to make time for ourselves. I'm like, hey, mom and dad, can you watch our daughter, watch our kid? Me and my wife need to, you know, just get away and have a weekend and just get a hotel and have a few drinks and go to bed at 10 o'clock and sleep in. So we, you know what I mean? We make time for ourselves and it's good. Damn, more power to you, man. Hope you guys got something fun planned for the anniversary. Yeah, actually, for our 10-year anniversary, everything is already booked. My wife is a planner, and she's booked everything. Hotels, rental car, and cabins. We're actually going out to Yellowstone National Park and the Grand Teton National Park. So we got I think it's 8 days out there. We're going to spend 4 days in Yellowstone, 4 days in the Tetons. We have cabins booked. We have some hotel rooms booked at like Old Faithful Inn. We have a rental car ready. And plane tickets are already bought. And that's going to be in May. So it'll be a good time. We before we had a kid, we did something big every anniversary. And we haven't really been doing that a lot the past few years since we had our daughter. So this is going to be the big, like a big trip, you know, for the first time since our daughter was born. Hey, Christian, if you want to, me and my wife did a 10-day Utah trip in 2017. If you want to learn more about our trip, if you Google Hello Greedo, the Grand Circle, I made a whole like 20-minute long video about that. Yeah. It's got a bunch of pictures, detailed information about our itinerary. It's actually I'm kind of surprised how many views it has. The Grand Circle. If you Google the Grand Circle road trip, my video is actually the first video in Google Videos that pops up. So yeah, watch that video if you're interested in doing a Utah Mighty 5 road trip. It's a good time. Rented an RV from Cruise America. Did 6 national parks, 3 states, almost 1,500 miles. It was great. Yeah. Please do. How many views does that have now?
When your hotel room is...
That video has 166,000 views. 166,000 views. On a video that I made like 8 months after our trip. And I just felt like making it because I love... That's my favorite trip of all time. And I made that video like, you know... thinking nobody's gonna watch this shit. It's a Star Wars YouTube channel. Nobody cares, but it's something that I want to make. And all these years later, it has 166,000 views, and it's because people are interested in this trip, not because they follow me, but you know, people are Googling information about this trip. It's kind of neat. Anyway, travel's fun. Minato Namikaze and Oscar, I appreciate the patience there, guys. Thank you so much for the super chats this evening. Sometimes I can be long-winded. Let's see. Minato says Iger stepping down in 2026 and Kennedy looking to take his place. Who should take over Lucasfilm? He would never take it, but my pick is Tom Cruise. Is that in jest? Are you saying that in jest? Who should take over Lucasfilm? You know, I know a lot of people will say like Filoni. I mean, I know Minato, you are way more into the business side of things than me. I'm the kind of person that just goes, I liked that, I didn't like that, shrug shoulders, move on. I mean, that comes with age, I think. I don't know, but or maybe it doesn't. It's just personality, and I appreciate your interest in all that stuff. Who should take it over? I have no idea. Is Filoni the right person? I mean, you want somebody who's business savvy, I suppose, who puts people, who puts the right people in place for the right job. I mean, the head of Lucasfilm is more of a micromanager, or not micromanager, more of a managerial role, more of an oversight than anything. Do you want Filoni in that role? For me, I mean, if you like Filoni as a creator, I don't know if you'd want him in that role. Wouldn't you want him in the trenches creating things and not, and not being the overseer of things. That's always interesting to me, like when people want him to spearhead Lucasfilm. Well, his efforts, his energy would be spent doing other things other than creating. I don't think that's the position that you would want him in if you like what he's making. You know what I mean? I mean, I understand from a very simple point of view, if you like his stuff, yeah, he should be at the forefront. Well, I mean, the head of Lucasfilm does more than create. They don't create. They manage. They oversee. You know what I mean? It's yeah, I don't know. Who should take it over? I have no idea. It's probably going to be somebody we've never even heard of. Or I shouldn't say that. It's probably going to be somebody that doesn't have a front and center name. Like, the only reason, like, people who are into movies before Kathleen Kennedy, you know, became the face of Lucasfilm, unless you were into movies, you probably didn't know who she was. I knew her by name, just because I'm into movies. But before she became the face of Lucasfilm, and before everybody started talking about her on YouTube, I don't think she was a household name. It's probably going to be somebody like that, you know. But Tom Cruise, sure. Throw your hat in the ring, Tom. But anyway, Tom Cruise is an amazing film producer, very respected in the industry, and knows what it takes to get films made. I completely agree. And if you and you're probably right, but and you're also right in saying he would never do it, but sure, why not? Let's get you in there, Tom. He would never do it. But anyway, I appreciate that, Minato. Oscar Rodriguez, thank you so much. Oscar says, learning Japanese is so darn hard for me. Dude, I can't imagine. I mean, it's I've taken 2 language classes in my entire life. I take that back. I've taken 3 language classes in my entire life. In high school, I took German. I don't remember. Honestly, I don't know how I passed high school. I have no idea how I graduated. I don't know. I don't remember anything about German. Then I took Spanish when I got out of the Navy and I used my GI Bill to go to college. I signed up for a Spanish class, and I was like, oh my god, I'm dropping out. I'm dropping this class. I had no idea what I suck so bad at it. And then I took sign language, and I did well in sign language. Japanese, not a chance in hell I couldn't do it. I'm too dumb. I don't have the motivation. It's the polar opposite of everything I know, and I don't have the energy. I would love to, like, if in the future, you hook up your brain to the Matrix and I know Kung Fu, yeah, 1000%, bring it on. But until that happens, I'll never speak Japanese. But yeah, best of luck on your endeavors there, Oscar. I've always wished I would have known or would have learned another language. I'm almost 40. It's never too late, I suppose, but the section of my brain that soaks up language is probably already all developed, and I don't have the motivation, unfortunately. But Italian. You know Italian as well. Wow, interesting. If you're living in Florida, I feel like you wouldn't have to learn another language besides English. I mean, yeah, a part of me kind of regrets not getting my daughter into Spanish or something like that. You know, it's not too late, but yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, Oscar. Let us know how it goes. I'd like to see Michigan. There we go. Who said that? Preston. George Heilman. Good to see you, man. Thank you so much for the channel support as well. One sec. George says, hey, HG. I hit my 40th just before the new year. It's like turning 30 again, only with more knee aches, and still looking forward to new Andor. There you go. Well, happy birthday, man. I'll be 40 in 2.5 years. Which is crazy to me. But in all honesty, I feel better than I ever have. I'm in better shape than I've ever been. I don't have any health problems. I run many miles a week. I have no achy joints. Knock on wood. And like right now, I mean, that could all change in 10 years or so. But right now, it's like, I feel like I did when I was 18. It's weird. I don't feel like I'm almost 40. It's very strange. Maybe my job keeps me young. I don't know. But, yeah, it's weird. I tell people that I'm almost 40 and they're surprised. I work with a lot of younger guys and they think that I'm closer to their age. And, I mean, I don't know. It's weird. 40. It's fucking weird to say that I'm 2.5 years from 40. And what's weirder to me is that saying that my friends are 2.5 years. Like, so I've known the same, I'm like best buddies with the same group of dudes that I've known since I was like 13, 14, and 15. We're all still like best friends. We get together every year and rent a cabin, constantly shooting the shit, getting on Zoom, you know, and we're all almost 40. It's just, it's crazy to me that that's more weird to say, oh, my buddy's almost 40, my friends are almost 40, than me saying I'm almost 40. I don't know if that makes sense, but as long as you take care of yourself, which I should more, it's more of a state of mind. Yeah, it is. It's so. It's really interesting to me. My dad, he is 70. So he had me when he was 35. He is going to be, I believe, 72 this year. He goes to the gym twice a day. And you would never think that he's almost 72. At least I don't think. And he's always said, you got to keep moving. Just got to keep moving. He's got his hip fucking replaced, shoulder surgery, knees, every but he always says you gotta keep moving. And I should get that tattooed. Just keep moving. And as I've gotten older, I've kind of, adopted that for my own life. You gotta keep moving. Gotta keep moving. Because I'll go to patients that are my dad's age, and they're like on their last leg, or they're incredibly obese, or they're, they never took care of themselves. And you're like, my dad's almost 72. You're 72. You're just two different human beings. It's crazy. So keep moving and take care of yourself, You see a lot of that, like people that, a lot of, sure, a lot of it's genetic, but, it's the spectrum of health through this, looking at two different people of the same age. It's fascinating to me. But, anyway. I appreciate that, George. Cheers. Happy birthday. Just a number, man. Just a number. And I appreciate that, man. I don't know what I'll do for my 40th. I don't know. I haven't done a thing for my birthday in so long. I'm trying to think the last actual thing I did for my birthday was. Usually, I worked on my birthday last year. What was the last big thing that I did for my birthday? I don't even know. At a certain point, it doesn't matter, right? Maybe I'll get a tattoo this year. I don't know. I don't have any. Except for that lower back tattoo that I have. That says Playa. Nah, I'm just fucking with you. I don't have that. I'm the guy who says, yeah, I want that tattoo. And I've been saying that for 20 years, I don't have any. But anyway. Anyway. What's up, Wanderers? I've always wanted to play Terraria. I actually think I own it on Steam. Let me see. Yeah, I own Terraria. I've played 32 minutes of it. And I've had it for... I don't know how long I've had it for. I've only played 32 minutes of Terraria. Games like that always interest me in theory. But when I sit down to play them, I don't have the patience for them. I don't know why. I find that, I'm always interested in games like that, but I just end up jumping in a game of PUBG or Counter-Strike or now called Squad 44, I don't know. Yeah, it's big and it's in Comic Sans there, Iron Elephant. My family I went to a nice Thai restaurant. I had to work too, so it felt like a nice treat. Nice. I like Thai food. We make I guess it's kind of a Thai dish. It's one of my favorite meals that me and my wife make. It's coconut curry rice. And you grill some chicken. And there's a peanut sriracha sauce that you make. It's a coconut peanut sriracha sauce on coconut curry rice and grilled chicken. Dude, oh, it's so good. It is so good. I made it at the firehouse one day. And, most firefighters that I work with, they're meat and potato guys. They're not very experimental. What are we having? Burgers. What are we having? Tacos. And I was like, let me make this. And I think they liked it. They seemed to like it. I don't know. Do I like McDonald's, 80s kid? Yeah, I mean, who doesn't? It's a treat once a year, once or twice a year. I was going to say I can't remember the last time I had McDonald's, but I can. I had McDonald's, so I was driving the rescue, the ambulance, and when you drive the rescue, when you drive the ambulance, you know, a lot of times you're busy as shit because you go to all the calls, but then you also have to drive the patient to the hospital. And then you have to drive from the hospital back to the firehouse. And a lot of the times you don't make it back to the firehouse before another call comes out. So you're busy all day. You might be at the station for a little bit, but you're running all day, all night. And it was like 9 o'clock, and we had me and the officer that I was driving, we hadn't eaten yet. And we were like, let's get back. We were debating about getting back to the station and eating, but then we decided, fuck it, let's just go get McDonald's. It was like 9 o'clock. We had been running all day, exhausted. And we go and we sit down and we get McDonald's. They actually gave it to us for free. And we were able to eat a McDonald's meal at McDonald's, sitting down in our uniforms with the ambulance parked outside without getting a call. And it was a joy. I had a Big Mac meal and fries and a Coke Zero. And it was nice. But anyway. Oscar Rodriguez, thank you so much once again for the super chat and channel support this evening, man. Oscar says, have you watched Leave the World Behind? Don't be fooled by trailers. They make it look like it's has a supernatural edge. No spoilers, but it's creepy. No, I haven't seen that. I did Leave the World Behind. I did read a little bit about it. But no, I have not watched it yet. Apocalyptic thriller. Rent a luxurious home for the weekend with their kids. Their vacation is soon upended when two strangers arrive in the night bearing news of a mysterious cyber attack and seeking refuge in the house they claim is theirs. Oh, I watched the trailer for this. Interesting there, Oscar. Yeah, I did watch the trailer. You said don't be fooled by the trailer. The two families reckon with a looming disaster that grows more terrifying by the minute, forcing everyone to come to terms with their places in a collapsing world. Okay. It's a series. I actually don't... Is it a series? No, it's a movie. Okay. It's a movie.
What's
Okay.
up, Greedo?
Oh, one sec.
Was wondering if you were at all affected by the apparent wokeness in Star Wars these days. I'm pretty easygoing usually, but definitely feel they have jumped the shark a bit.
Jared Quinn, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support, man. I greatly appreciate that. Give me one sec. Oscar, no, I have not watched this. I'll add it to the pile of shit we need to watch. Like, a lot of the times, man, me and my wife will sit down to watch something. You know, we're tired. My wife worked all day. I might be home all day with my daughter. And at the end of the day, like, we're like, what do you want to watch? If it's more than 30 minutes, I don't want to watch it. So we have some movies on the list of things we want to watch. We just haven't gotten around to. I'll throw this on the pile. I believe my wife watched this trailer with me. I think she'd be into something like this. So yeah, if we end up watching it, I'll let you know. She wants to watch Saltburn. I don't know anything about it. She said she heard that it's kind of fucked up, which is good. I like that kind of stuff. So yeah, we have a pile of movies that we and a pile of shows that we need to finish. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, Oscar. I'll add that to the pile for sure. Gerard. Why can't I speak? Gerard Quinn, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. What's up, Greedo? Was wondering if you were at all affected by the apparent wokeness in Star Wars these days. I'm pretty easygoing usually, but definitely feel like they have jumped the shark a bit. I've never understood people's complaints in that department. I don't fucking get it, man. I don't mean, I don't know where you stand. So whatever I'm about to say, I don't mean to be an asshole or degrading to you. Just let me, put that out there. When I look at, how do I phrase this? When I look at people's complaints about agendas and stuff like that and things, oftentimes I roll my eyes, because you can look back at every generation of film and you could apply the same logic, and whether it be really anything. You could go back and look at shows like All in the Family. They're trying to apply agenda, they're trying to brainwash us, they're trying to be, no matter what age, what generation of film shows, most things have a message. If you like that message, if you don't, fine, whatever. Or especially in science fiction. Science fiction has always kind of, through a story, has told maybe a warning for the future, or has tried to put a scaffolding for humanity to kind of build from, or look at the future as a place that we should aspire to become. The complaints about quote-unquote wokeness these days, I look at with a big fucking roll of my eyes. It's silly to me. What's quote-unquote woke about it? What is it? It's so stupid to me. And it's like Barbie, right? The movie Barbie. You have grown men on YouTube bitching and moaning about Barbie. I watched Barbie. It was fun. It was a fun movie with a fun message. I have a daughter. Fuck you. It was a fun movie. I'll never watch it again. I mean, just, a one and done for me. But like, you have grown men on YouTube ranting and raving about Barbie being woke and what did you expect? Dipshit? Are you just making these videos? Obviously, you're just making these videos for views and revenue. Obviously. Because if you're a man, really? You're gonna give a shit? You're a man. Grow the fuck up. You're embarrassing. So that's kind of my take on a lot of this stuff. People complaining to complain. There's like a bandwagon complaint. There's a word of the day, a phrase of the day, a complaint of the day that constantly gets thrown out there, whether it be on YouTube or Twitter or the news, or from political pundits. It's I don't know. It's dumb and embarrassing to me that people complain about this stuff. I watch the modern Star Wars, and I'm usually pretty good about when I'm being preached to. And most of the time, whatever, just let it roll off of you. Just enjoy the story. And I don't see that at all. I don't see what they're seeing. It's weird. It's weird to me. I think a lot of it is posturing. A lot of it is a lot of it on YouTube is obviously for ad revenue. When somebody's uploading 4 videos a day about something being woke, do you really give that much a fuck? Dude, really? You're a grown man. Obviously, it's for ad revenue. To me, that's embarrassing. As a man, that's embarrassing. But no, I don't. I think it's all silly there, Gerard. All the complaints, that is. It's petty. And I don't know. It's a waste of energy. I don't know. Does that make sense? I feel like I just said a bunch of words and none of it made sense. No, I like my position on YouTube because I just upload like I haven't uploaded a video in months, I feel like. And I do a couple streams a month. And I don't rely on this, if that makes sense. But if you rely on this as your living, then if you rely on this for your living, then you're going to pump out videos all the time, and you're going to be talking bullshit, and you're going to be complaining about things. I've never wanted that for myself. That I would be so disingenuous if I did that, and I feel like a lot of these men are very disingenuous with what they give a shit about. You know, if that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know what I just said, Gerard, but I appreciate that channel support, man. Where did it go? Gerard said... Gerard said, oh, where did it go? I'm trying to look for your chat. Oh, Octopus with No Friends. Original Star Wars was woke as fucking anti-imperialist. Well, I mean, like, you look at the original Star Wars, A New Hope. If that was released today, you know, when Leia grabs the blaster and says, you know, basically, get in the trash compactor, assholes. If that was released today, you'd have YouTubers saying, "Oh, just woke, this woke, blah blah blah, this woman grabbed this black." It's stupid. If I mean, you know, if Luke Skywalker walked in the bar with C-3PO and R2-D2, and the bartender said, "We don't serve their kind here," you'd have YouTubers go, "That's an agenda. That's woke, blah, blah, trying to push a message." It's You can look at anything, any movie, any show released, any book, and you can complain about a message. You can complain about a stance. You know, if you're looking for it, you'll find it, and then you'll make a YouTube video about it, and you'll make revenue. That's the world we live in. Best to kind of, I don't know, step back, and I like what I do, so. Anyway, I appreciate that, Gerard. Christian says, I'm not fond of the New Republic era, but I'm aware that I have better things to do. Yeah, I haven't read anything of the New Republic era. I don't own any of the books or anything like that yet. I mean, I'd like to get into it, but I haven't read a book in a while. The last book that I read was Project Hail Mary, which I loved. But I haven't turned my Kindle on in probably 6 months, which is kind of a shame. I was reading a lot there for a couple of years, but I just, for whatever reason, it's my Kindle has been lying dormant for about 6 months. Probably has 0 battery. It's just sitting there waiting for me to turn it on. But anyway. A Stormtrooper asks, have you ever gotten 100% progress on any games? Don't know if anyone has asked this before, but I'm just curious. No, I honestly, I don't think I ever have. I'm not much of a completionist when it comes to video games. Especially single-player games. I don't really, you know... Yeah, I'm not a completionist. I usually just play through the story, and I'm fine with that. 100%ing a game doesn't interest me all that much. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I rarely get into single player games. You know, I'll play through a single player game story, and that's usually about it. Once I'm done with the main story, I usually just put it down. But that's pretty much what I've done with every single player game that I've ever played, you know. I feel like you would have 100%ed Shadows of the Empire. I mean, yes, back in the day when I was 10 years old when that came out, yeah, I would have. But yeah. No, I never played Killzone for the PS2. I never had a PS2. The only PlayStation thing I've ever owned was the PS3. And I really only got that for the Blu-ray player. Yeah, I really only got that for the Blu-ray player. I bought that around the same time the Star Wars Blu-rays came out in 2011. And, yeah, I got the PS3 just because at that time, Blu-ray players weren't that much cheaper than buying a PS3. So I just was like, yeah, I'll get a PS3, whatever. But yeah, that's the only... And I didn't have it for that long, a couple years before I sold it. But yeah. PS1, N64, or Saturn. The only one that I ever owned there, Angry Mobster, was N64. Yeah, so the consoles that I've had in my life, I haven't had too many. I haven't had too many variety, I guess. I've had the original Nintendo, the NES. I had a Super Nintendo. I had an N64. Then I had a Dreamcast. Then I got an Xbox 360. I never had an original Xbox. So yeah, okay, I'll spell it out. NES, Super NES, Nintendo 64, Dreamcast, 360, and I only had my 360 for a couple years, and then I sold it to my brother-in-law. Then I had a PS3, which was pretty much just for the Blu-ray. I didn't really play anything on it. And then I got an Xbox One S many years later. So, and that's it. Those are the consoles that I've owned. I've always been more of a PC gamer. Yeah. Yeah, my whole life. Like, I think our first PC we got was like 1994, 1995, and since then I've pretty much exclusively been a PC gamer. Yeah. But anyway, that's it for me. We are right at the 1 hour mark. So what is today? Today's Monday. I work tomorrow, off Wednesday and Thursday. I'll try to get a video up maybe on Wednesday, maybe Thursday. It'll probably just be a really easy whatever video. Just something to upload because it's been a while. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway. Thanks for hanging out, man. This was a fun hour. I always enjoy these. I'll try to do more often, especially now that my daughter's back in school. I might do some daytime streams if you guys are around. So, all right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. To everybody who super chatted, thank you so much for the channel support this evening. To everybody who hung out in the chat, thanks for hanging out. But all right, guys, enjoy the rest of your morning, your afternoon, your evening, wherever you are on planet Earth. And I will catch you all on the flip side. Cool? Cool. All right. See you guys later.